Donald Trump has long been known for his controversial statements. The golden sky attracts the attention of the whole world. The saying that the US can easily defeat Vietnam. But it's already soft and delicate. It's a typical example of that familiar style. With Americans, especially those eyes that are familiar with Trump's speech patterns. This is not a declaration of war. There is a threat. Really? That's a symbolic statement, reflecting how he skillfully uses words as a tool, express power and influence. You don't speak like a diplomat. He speaks like a performer. A person who clearly understands that in the era of media. Impressive quotes. It has a stronger influence than any plans. Long-term policy. He is in America. Many people are no longer surprised by Trump's outbursts. He always speaks in a way that makes the listener feel America is still number one. Still strong. Still able to do anything if I want to. But for many people, such words are not political truths. But it's just a performance. More attentive than AI. Understand that Mr. Kai loves it. Strong words. They don't need details about foreign policy. They need to feel affirmed that America, still the greatest country in the world. When he said America has become soft, that is not to be understood as a sign of weakness, but as a way of expressing humanitarianism, as if America can defeat any AI, but choose peace instead of war. But in reality, in this current era, the relationship between the United States and Vietnam, it's no longer a relationship between a winner and a loser. After 15 years since the war, two countries that were once rivals have now become partners. United States and Vietnam have overcome the painful past to build a new relationship based on mutual interests. From the normalization of relations in 1995, until we become a comprehensive strategic partner, in 2023, two countries have jointly proven that. Reconciliation and cooperation. This is the right path. Americans today look at Vietnam with respect. They consider it as a country that is developing rapidly. There is great potential, and it has an important strategic position in the Southeast Asia region. For many Americans, Vietnam is a symbol of resilience, of the ability to rise after the devastation of war. Therefore, when Trump said that the US could easily defeat Vietnam, most Americans understand that it's just empty talk. It has no practical significance at all. The United States has no reason to defeat Vietnam anymore, because Vietnam is now a friend, not an adversary. Two countries cooperate in trade, education, technology, and even national defense. $10 billion in investment from the US is pouring into Vietnam, and thousands of products made in Vietnam, currently available in all American supermarkets. In that context, the constant talk about military power, feeling almost lost, like a lingering echo from the past, more than the voice of the present. However, if we look deeper, Trump's statements still reflect a very distinctive thing in American political thinking, a strong belief in power. But Americans have long been taught that their country is a beacon of freedom, is the leading country in the world. That feeling of confidence sometimes turning the display of power into a habit, and Cham is the one who takes that habit to the highest level. But times have changed. Victory in the 21st century, no longer measured by guns and bullets, but by the ability to influence. A strong country, not the country with the most weapons, but it's a country that can persuade, accept others to join us. And in that regard, Vietnam is a perfect example of soft power. Cultural diplomacy. The economy can create results more lasting than any war. Americans today clearly understand that you've won. It doesn't just mean defeating that AI. After the long and bloody wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the United States have recognized that war does not bring about complete victory, but it only left 7 losses and division. Therefore, when I heard Trump say that America, we can easily win against Vietnam, most Americans just see it as hyperbole. But they know that victory, it's really about building a good relationship, not to defeat that AI. In the globalized world, a place where all countries depend on each other, defeat is no longer an appropriate concept. Only cooperation, sharing, and respect are the values that should be promoted. For those moderate Americans, they still see there's something deeper in the way we talk about gentleness. In politics and diplomacy, softness is sometimes the highest manifestation of strength. A country that is confident enough in its own strength, only then can we choose to restrain ourselves. The United States didn't take action against Vietnam. It's not a sign of weakness, but it's a proof of the strategic vision. The US understands that between peace, expand cooperation, and strengthen trust, the area brings much greater benefits compared to showing strength through military means. In this case, being soft-hearted is actually wisdom. It's the art of strength in the new era. However, it cannot be denied that those words are outrageous. The golden sky of 100. Sometimes it brings unwanted consequences. In the international arena, words carry more weight than people think. An inadvertent remark could jeopardize diplomatic relations, become stressed, or make countries feel disrespected. With Vietnam, a country that has suffered a lot due to war, words like that can bring back unpleasant memories. Many Americans are also aware of that, and believes that the leaders, you should be more cautious in what you say. Even though I might just be speaking out of instinct without malice. But sometimes it's explosive. Your actions have led the world to misunderstand. Back to the United States, a country that is still striving to build its image of freedom, human rights, and cooperation. From a different perspective, we can say it's not at all. It's stupid to choose to speak like that. But in American politics, attracting attention is crucial. Each of his statements, even though they are controversial, both made him dominate the headlines in the newspapers, appearing on all TV news. Mr. Term understands that noise is power. You once said there is no such thing as bad advertising, only free advertisements. And indeed, with each explosion, you've made America and the whole world. I can't help but mention my name. That's a strategy that many politicians use. Others don't dare to do it, but he turned it into his own weapon. However, there are also quite a few Americans who feel tired of this kind of noise. That they think it distorts the image of America, making international friends find it hard to trust you. In a world that needs dialogue more than ever, noisy and extravagant, sometimes we lose sight of the true value of America. A country that is built on the foundation of freedom, respect, and cooperation. Nevertheless, we have to admit that it's that difference that makes a person diligent. A person who can make the whole world hate them. I just can't take my eyes off it. If you ignore the noisy exterior, we can see in the American speech, we can defeat Vietnam, but it has subtly concealed a reality. America still believes in its own strength. But at the same time, understand that strength is not always. It should also be used. That's the lesson Americans have learned after decades. War. The real strength of America lies in its ability to influence, in making other countries believe and join us, not in making them submit. The relationship between the US and Vietnam today is a testament, the most obvious thing for that. Two countries that once faced off have now become equal partners. Together, let's strive for a peaceful future and develop. No one is talking about winning or losing anymore. Americans and Vietnamese can now sit at the same table, sign a contract, exchange technology, cooperate in education, and even sharing the vision for the region. That handshake, in the end, stronger than any gun. Therefore, when Americans hear Chum and Vang try, they might not understand what it means. Many people just smile, but they understand that it's a familiar style. It's an indispensable part of his political strategy. But behind that noise, there is still a real America. Stay alert and strive for cooperation. An America that knows that power no longer lies in defeating AI, but in the ability to build trust and maintain peace. And maybe that's also the last message. In today's world, What makes a great power? It's not about making others afraid, but it's the ability to make them respect and trust you. The US might explode like a balloon, but America is truly still a country that chooses peace. Choose dialogue, and choose a gentle way to express your strength.